Quarry, trained by Barry Lockwood. She's won 1 from 6. That win was at Warwick Farm in November of last year. She's had one run. Well, actually, she hasn't had a run back from a spell. Her last start was on March the 16th, so she's had a freshen up since then. She was taken to Flemington and finished 7 lengths away in a Group 1 race, the Sire's Produce Stakes, won by Pillaging, so she was far from disgraced in that. Rosehill Gardens with his call of the first event of the day, here's Ian Craig.
As John joins us now, we're just commenting, Tappy, what a beautiful day it is in Sydney. And now we're going to get our radio cross and we'll... everybody's aboard now. Thank you, Gregory. Yes, now what I was saying is how pleasant the day is here in Sydney, and the track with the rail back in to its normal posse after the last 2 meetings, having had that rail out 6 metres. We've got a lovely pad of grass there, 6 metres, that hasn't been galloped on for quite some time. Okay, so first of the day, and Air of Grace in on-track operations just shades high maintenance, and the third pick is Jing. The best back late has been high maintenance, and on the tote 270 in New South Wales, number 1, $4 number 2, $4.20 number 5, and they're off and running in the first of the day, and Air of Grace got the best of the start and leads about a half length on Jing. A length away third is Ice Flyer, racing a little ungenerously, followed by Royal Catch. 1.5 further away in the field is City Joy, high maintenance on her inside, and 4 or 5 lengths to Blue Lyric. They work their way around the first corner, and Jing in front, but taken on for the lead by Ice Flyer, who puts a nose in front now, and coming down to the 800 mark, a little between Ice Flyer and Jing, and again Jing drawing through to shade Ice Flyer. Third is Royal Catch over on the inside of Air of Grace, a length and a half to high maintenance on the inside of City Joy, and about 4 lengths further off is Blue Lyric. They've run this at a very dawdling tempo, and at the 500 coming down to the corner, and the Guru owned Jing is the leader narrowly from Ice Flyer. Air of Grace is third, Royal Catch is fourth. A length the high maintenance, pulled to the outside now, followed by City Joy, and last is Blue Lyric. Well in the straight, 300 to go, and Beedman drives the favourite to the lead, Air of Grace. About a length and a half the break. High maintenance trying doggedly to get to Air of Grace with Royal Catch and then Ice Flyer, but Air of Grace is doing it particularly well. 100 to go. She's a length and a half on Royal Catch and then high maintenance, and that's the way they'll complete the race. That is an easy win to Air of Grace. Second is Royal Catch. Third going to high maintenance. Fourth was Ice Flyer. Fifth City Joy. Sixth Blue Lyric, and Jing walked home 7th and last. Too good for them, Air of Grace. Number 1, ridden by Darren Beedman. Second and third placings to Royal Catch and high maintenance. So number 1, 280 and 160. Number 3 will pay 430 and no third for number 2. Air of Grace, trained by Barry Lockwood at Port Macquarie. For the Taylor family, GVRD and E.L. Taylor, and Darren Beedman, who's had such a hectic week and such a successful week, particularly in Wagga, for Graham Rogerson, starting the day well here. And of course the interest building up in this Sydney Jockeys Premiership battle with at the moment Beedman breathing right down the neck of Chris Muntz and Corey Brown. Chris on 72, Corey on 71, and Darren with that win takes him on to 65.5. Those numbers are official: 1, 3, 2 and 7, and here are the official totes. Number 1, 280 and 160. Number 3, 430, no third for number 2. The Quinella paid $10.80, exact at $22, trifecta $35.90, and the first 41327 $150.90.
Thanks, Ian. Well, Darren Beedman continues on his winning way. Darren's got a hurricane behind him at the moment and is in third place, and a closing third, I might add, on the Sydney Jockeys Premiership ladder. And congratulations to trainer Barry Lockwood, who's now based at Port Macquarie. Barry's always been a good trainer. He was at Rosehill for a number of years, had a very good filly some years back called Rock Review, which he slipped over to New Zealand to win a Magic Millions. Barry Lockwood is one of very few galloping trainers that I know who is an expert farrier. He can shoe a horse as well as any. And obviously his owners at Port Macquarie are spared those farriers' bills because Barry does the job himself. Well, now...
Moves up now. Railers out 9. The track is dead. 4.66 the penetrometer. And they're ready, race 1. And away they go with Paradiddle jumping well. So did Lord Grable. Shuttle Mission easing back after the start. Self-Interest got away well. And also over on the outside, beginning nicely, is I Chance as they settle into stride. There's a lot of chopping and changing for the lead. There's virtually 5 across the track here. Something will have to boot up and take the initiative. It's Self-Interest working up with I Chance. Tiger's Eye on the inside of them, third now. 2 lengths to Paradiddle, followed then by Lord Grable. Break of 3 or 4 lengths as there's more speed in the race behind them to Shuttle Mission, who's on the inside of Prolific with the Fats at the back of the field. As they climb the hill, it's I Chance out towards the 1200. The Kiwi leading a little over a length to Self-Interest second. In third placing, Tiger's Eye on the inside and a half length to Lord Grable. A length and a half further back in the field in fifth placing, Shuttle Mission on the inside of Paradiddle. 2 to Prolific and the Fats last of all. I Chance in front nearing the 1,000-metre mark. A little over a length. Self-Interest is second. Tiger's Eye is third and Lord Grable is fourth on the outside. A length and a half, Shuttle Mission, Paradiddle. Then the Fats on the inside, second last, and Prolific is at the tail. They make their way out towards the 800-metre mark, and I Chance leading by a length. Self-Interest is second. Right behind them, Tiger's Eyes had an easy run. Lord Grable is fourth. Shuttle Mission on the inside that slowed the tempo up before the turn. They're followed then by taking off as Prolific and then Paradiddle and the Fats at the tail. 600 left to go, and I Chance has been given every chance by Jay DeRose. She's rated the tempo well. Now can he produce something? He leads by a neck coming up towards the turn from Self-Interest. Prolific's moved up to third. Tiger's Eye behind them. Paradiddle commences a run. Shuttle Mission held up on the fence. The Fats pulls out into the straight. I Chance headed by Self-Interest. Prolific and Paradiddle pull to the outside, and the Fats is the widest runner with Tiger's Eye getting a run on the inside. It's Paradiddle racing after Self-Interest, who has a slender lead, 150 to go, and the Fats is joining in from Prolific. Paradiddle in the middle, Self-Interest, the Fats on the outside. The Fats, Paradiddle, the Fats goes home the best, wins again. The Fats by a long neck on the line to Paradiddle, ahead Self-Interest, and then came Prolific and I Chance. Back behind them then were Lord Grable, and then Shuttle Mission and Tiger's Eye after a cosy run finished last in. The Fats has taken the first on the card, ridden by Mark Zara, trained by Mike Moroney. Number 2, the Fats first. Sat off the pace and just continued a long, strong run, which has taken him to victory over Paradiddle. And in third place will be Self-Interest as we await the judges' official placings. Should be 2, 8 and 10 on the first. 2, 8 and 10. Time there is 2 minutes 4.12, 2:4.12, 2, 8 and 10 now semaphore official. The Fat's winning the race. He likes to sting out of the ground. Probably just enough given it for him today. He won at his last start at Moonee Valley, continuing a long, strong run, and he came in quite well at the weights with a drop of 4 kilos, even though the limit did come down as well. It was a very clever use of the 2 kilo claim for Mark Zara, and he's produced another long, strong, grinding performance to get home by a half length officially. A long neck second and third, and 2:4.12 the precise time. I Chance given every hope under Jay DeRose, no doubt will derive improvement from that. His first outing for 9 weeks, and Bobby Skelton only got hold of him in his stables about a week or so ago. In the second event today, we take out 9 Tantat City, a late one at 10:33, and also 17 Miss Stylish. Mark Pegas will ride number 7, and Blinker's first time for number 2. So a half length a long neck in 2:4.12. The winners paid $4.60 and $1.60. Paradiddle $3.10. Self-Interest paid $1.60. Quinella not yet through. The exacta, there's a Quinella now, 29.10. The exacta 44.50, and the trifecta 177 even. Numbers are 2, 8 and 10. Gives you all details then on race 1 with the second from Caulfield at 12.55.
Greg Miles at Caulfield with 1 down, and won by the Fats, Mark Zara in the saddle. Quinella 29.10, exacta 44.50, and the trifecta is 177 even as young Mark returns to scale in the conspicuous purple with the white stars. Favourite in Sydney ahead of Evander, and Faith Hill third pick at $6 as we join Ian Craig.
And they're all set to run now in the Rider Hunt Handicap. And they're off this time. First out was Faith Hill, commencing nicely. Catechism. Baghdad third. A length further off is Evander from Shepherd's Lil in the centre. Caught a little wide is Carabine, and 2 lengths Full Song. Now a good race for the leader here, with Catechism on the outside, joining and nosing Faith Hill. Baghdad getting a lovely run behind them. A length and a half to Shepherd's Lil, keeping Evander snookered. Second last Carabine, and 1 to Full Song. Inclined to race with his head pretty high as they go onto the first corner here at the 1,000. And Catechism shows the way. Baghdad moves into second posse. A length and a quarter off the leader. A similar margin to Faith Hill, then Shepherd's Lil, Evander. Full Song has passed one, and that is Carabine. The small field gallops down the side, and at the 750, it's Catechism, a length and a half on Baghdad. Faith Hill on the inside of Shepherd's Lil, followed by Evander parked inside of Full Song, still racing a little ungenerously, and Carabine a length further back. Last with 550 ahead of them here, and Catechism a better length on the heavily backed favourite Baghdad, getting closer now. A length to Faith Hill, followed closely by Shepherd's Lil, and then Evander, Carabine and Full Song to the outside. Into the stretch they go, and Baghdad quickly reeled in Catechism to boot clear, and down to the 220 it's Baghdad, about 3/4 Catechism fighting on, and Evander starting to warm up now. Baghdad hasn't got much left, and Catechism fights back, and Evander trying to reach Catechism. Catechism in front, he's going to plug away and win. Catechism looked beaten at the 300, but came back and rallied strongly to beat a photo between Baghdad and Evander, and then Carabine, Full Song, Faith Hill and Shepherd's Lil. Gee, that was a dogged win. Well, and where was Catechism? He was right over on the inside in the grass that was supposedly being a little thicker than elsewhere. So I think Darren's judgment on the grass has to be thrown out the window.
Right, Ian, Catechism, trained by Pam Webber at Rosehill Gardens. Pam prepared the Brisbane Cup winner last year, Star Covet, which died tragically a few months ago. I know she's been pretty down in the dumps ever since, and that'll be a terrific kick for Pam Webber, a lady who's had vast experience with horses in many countries around the world, and that experience is seen to advantage here in her preparation of Catechism, which certainly didn't lack any bottom, looked gone to Gowings and fought back to win, a son of naturalism. Starthy Katsidis has a busy day.
Working at the moment on Snap to It to come up into the line in the orange colours. Also Sylvester, who's coming in now. Clear favourite though is Kuzi, horse number 1. Most impressive victory at Flemington last time out over the 1100. 1200 shouldn't be a problem. Patrick Payne on board. Came down what was the perceived slower inside rail that day and still won. It was a highly impressive win. Just easing slightly on track, and it's better odds than the 2.10 that's showing at the moment on Super Tab. Lord Harold is the second pick at 7.10, and he's a touch shorter on track. He's been very solid right through betting. Dale Smith has taken the ride here. Fabian Villela couldn't use the entire claim, and the trainer wanted to take full advantage, so Dale Smith on, and he takes 2 kilos. Now, Jess Dreaman has moved up into the line. Gates are filling quite well. Finian's rider Mark Pegasus in the all-white colours of the club. Spanish Symbol, Harry McCleary, who's coming in now. He'll appreciate the dry surface, no doubt, today. It is officially still rated as dead. So Finian in the all-white and Manee Lane, along with Spanish Symbol, who's coming in now. Spanish Symbol and Manee Lane come up together. Favourite is Kusi. Second pick is Lord Harold. Finian in the all-white colours of the club moved up, and that looks to be the lot. All in now. Starter goes to the top of the platform, Mr. McCarroll, and we're about to see them on their 1,200 metres journey. They're away. Lord Harold jumped very well towards the inside. Commonwealth Bay was a little slow, and Jess Dreaman got back there too. Environs began very fast and is heading towards the lead with ACDC, and Kuzi had jumped quickly. Settling by the 1,000 metre mark, Environs had the lead from Snap to It and Lord Harold with the inside. A link to Kuzi, Finian, 2 or 3 lengths Harry McCleary, ACDC, King Wells. They're followed by Broadband on the inside, a length and a half. Manee Lane being trailed then by Encosta Rocket. 1 to Commonwealth Bay, Jess Dreaman, and they're trailed by Sylvester, and Spanish Symbol had dropped out last. At the 500, Snap to It the inside, and Environs. Lord Harold a length away on the rail from Finian and Kuzi. There's Kingwell starting a run round the outside, followed by ACDC, Harry McCleary, and next is Manee Lane from Broadband and in Costa Rocket. Snap to it and Environs turning in front of Kingwell's. Kusi has pocketed. Lord Harold's dropped off the pace behind them on the rail, and then Finian. Here's ACDC coming with a run. Kingwell's took the lead at the 200, but ACDC moved up fast on the outside and tackles, and soon after takes the lead. Kingwell's tries to rally. Broadband is making ground, but it's ACDC clear. Broadband coming home hard, but ACDC wins at Broadband. Or on the inside, Kingwell's for the minors. Manee Lane also ran on for fourth, trailed by Spanish Symbol, who's come from last. Not a bad run. Then Snap to it, Manee Lane, Harry McCleary, Zilvester, followed by Commonwealth Bay, Environs and Lord Harold, after showing plenty of speed of both weekend, followed then by In Costa Rocket. Kusi put nothing into the finish either. Jess Dreaman has made just a touch of ground. Finian is the next one to go over the line. Was one of the last to greet the judge. But honours all with ACDC, number 5, ridden by Craig Newitt and trained by Dean Lawson. Came with a great burst, and it's going to pay $20.80 and $4.70. Young man from Tasmania who's had just a handful of runs, and already he's had 2 metropolitan successes. There's no doubt he's going to make a name for himself, particularly through the winter months in Melbourne. 5 ACDC, Craig Newitt first. Second place went to number 13, Broadband, ridden by Luke Curry. And third, number 3, Kingwells, ridden by Mark Zara. 5, 13 and 3 official placings on race number 2. Kusi had a lovely run, but was struggling to my eye by the time they entered the early part of the straight. Didn't finish the race off at all. Most disappointing run from him. Time 1:10.87. He got cluttered in the field, and perhaps he didn't enjoy that. When he won at Flemington, he was virtually racing on his own. He just might have resented racing amongst horses today, but he was battling a good way out. Environ snapped to it. Lord Harold, they all went out quickly, but couldn't sustain the issue, and they dropped right out of it. Tate Divies, ACDC, has paid $20.80 and $4.70. Broadband, $4.70. Kingwells paid $5.80. Totes on 5, 13, 3. $20.80 to win, $4.70 for the place. Broadband, $4.70. Kingwells, $5.80. Quinella paid $163.50. The exacta, $308.20. Trifecta, $9,113 even. And the running double 2 and 5, $101.90. Next on the card is the Heath at Caulfield handicap, scratching his 10-piece proposal. Tongue tie for number 3, Dinnigan.
Right, Greg, thank you. Yes, well, there's the young Tasmanian, Craig Newitt, who comes to Victoria with a big reputation from the Apple Isle, and 2 metropolitan winners already, claiming 3, and he's going to be in very keen demand. Craig Newitt on ACDC, $20.80 and $4.70, riding for the Dean Lawson stable. Now, Victoria Park update.
Only canvas to move in, and repeating the favourite on the tote, Clear Cut Thunder On over Lion Pride, but in the ring, Thunder On only marginally in front of the well-tried Graham Rogerson trained, Darren Beedman ridden Lion Pride. Will the Rogerson-Beedman good fortune of this week continue this afternoon? We'll know shortly. And they're off this time, and a little slowly away the newcomer Flatter, and the favourite Thunder On straight to the lead. Lion Pride is racing it, however, and wider out in third position as they settle down is Canvas, followed closely then by Darker's Gem. By golly, it's a go for the lead at the end of 300, and Lion Pride taken on now by Darker's Gem. Thunder On settling third, Canvas fourth, and then Flatter, followed by Sunbeam Alpine. Philadonte next to last, and 2 lengths to Dane Trooper. They come down the side of the track, and Lion Pride assumes a clear-cut roll now. Out by a length or so on Darker's Gem. Third posse Flatter on the inside of Thunder On and wider Canvas. Sunbeam Alpine is holding Philadonte firmly in at about 3 lengths to Dane Trooper. On the corner they travel, and first for home is the heavily backed Lion Pride, a length on Darker's Gem. Over on the inside is the newcomer Flatter. Thunder On pulling around the heels of the leaders now to throw out the gauntlet to them, and a couple to Philadonte and Sunbeam Alpine. Alpine. Lion Pride Beedman shaking it up. Here comes Thunder On, and Thunder On draws level and heads off Lion Pride, but on the inside, Flatter, this newcomer. Flatter and Thunder On, little between them. Flatter the inside and Thunder On. Flatter's got the head in front as they reach the line, and Flatter got there. Flatter, narrowly I'd say, over Thunder On and Philadonte from Darkest Gem Lion Pride. Then Dane Trooper followed in by Sunbeam Alpine, and Canvas was last. Well, that was a decent performance. Flatter, ridden by none other than Brad Pengelly. It and Thunder On went to the line locked together, and it looks like Flatter has just been able to score for David Baxter and Nick Moratis, who share ownership in this Bluebird gelding at 2-year-old Brown, trained by Timmy Martin, and Brad Pengelly in the saddle. Thunder On, big difference in, well, when I say a big difference at the end, there was 2.5 kilos between the horses, and that probably proved the decisive factor for Flatter. Thunder On, who's by Thunder Gulch, trained by Gay Waterhouse, ridden by Len Beasley. As the numbers come up, 3 the winner, 1 second, and 5 third. Philadonte, who's by Falonte, trained by Bobby Law, ridden by Darryl McClellan, and 6 was 4th, Darkest Gem. 3, 1, 5 and 6 after race 3, clocked in 1:11.37 and the sectional 34.80.
Right, Ian, thank you. Straight along the 18 pence, Flatter. As did the previous winner, Catechism, so there's nothing wrong with the inside part of the track today. Well, as I mentioned earlier, Matthew Gatt is now domiciled in Queensland, where his talents are being recognised by many trainers. He's with Larry Olsen right now at Eagle Farm.
Well, Matt, you've had time to...
There's a no claimer, but 5 of the 9 ridden by Apprentice Boys. Rider of Fairy Flash, Dale Smith, slips out of the saddle as Raja Lane is about to come in. Raja Lane here has the blinkers, or had the blinkers off last time out, and was ridden from the back and made good ground. 1200 should suit. It's Adoring just getting a little agitated in the gates there. Reactive, the clear favourite. She's been racing in good form, probably in slightly better grade than this, but she's got the weight factor to take into account here. They're just about ready. Starter eyeing them off 1200 metres. Stand in well. All clear now. And away they go. Reactive reasonably out. Kelchek seemed to dip at the start. Dinnigan was slow. Fairy Flash got away very quickly, and so did Raja Lane and Zadoring. Settling into stride now, and Zadoring going to the lead over Raja Lane. Reactive. Weeds closer to the inside. Also showing a bit of speed off the course there, Cherokee Rose. Back behind them is Kelchek and May Costa, settling second last, and last is Dinnigan. Fairly tightly bunched. Zadoring had crossed down to the inside and led. Coming up to the 600 metres has a narrow advantage over Reactive, and Cherokee Rose is wider out on the course with Fairy Flash also 3 deep on the pace now. Just behind them as they came towards the turn is Raja Lane. Weeds over on the fence, and then Kelchek. Up towards the turn, Fairy Flash tracking well away from the rail is the leader, and kicked into the straight ahead of Reactive. Raja Lane. Zadoring stayed right near the inside. Kelchek came wider, heading to the 200. Fairy Flash in front. Reactive starting to lift, and then Raja Lane. Fairy Flash rolling back to the inside. Kelchek is coming right up the middle with a brilliant run now. Kelchek has hit the front from Reactive, Raja Lane, Fairy Flash and Weeds, and it's Kelchek. This blew the start, but has got home very well. Kelchek from Reactive. Raja Lane might grab third. May Costas making ground, and then Weeds. Zadoring was next to finish, stayed on the rails. Don't know about that today. Next, Fairy Flash, long break to Dinnigan, and Cherokee Rose, after showing some pace, dropped out to last. All 3 winners so far have come virtually up the middle of the track here, where Kelchek has come. Number 6, pretty sure it dipped at the start, went down on the nose, settled well back, came right round them and up the middle of the track. 6, Kelchek. Reese Wheeler first, trained by Tony Noonan, takes out the 3rd event of the day. Second placing goes to number 2, Reactive, ridden by Luke Curry. And the 3rd number is about to be semaphored in 1:10.98. It goes to number 1, Raja Lane. Time 1:10.98. Numbers are 6, 2 and 1. I'm pretty sure that you're going to have to get away from the fence here today. Those horses who stayed near the inside really didn't have much chance. Fairy Flash came round the field, tracked wide, but then rolled back to the inside.
Righto, Greg, thank you. So Reese Wheeler for Tony Noonan on the winner, Kelchek. Reactive second, Raja Lane third. Quinella 13.40, Exacta 42 even, and the trifecta $160.60. And the colours on the winner were the colours carried by Yammer in Adelaide last Saturday. Now we've got a protest third again.
This is a listed race for 2-year-olds. And these horses will, most of them will go to the sire's produce after this, over 1 mile. And then you'd think a lot of them would go for a spell. Now Hydrometer comes forward, Cobber Moose is ready. Rider's about, in fact, Cobber Moose is riderless. Jockey's about to get back aboard when it goes in, Glendorrel. Saints Union's moved up, Turfing's right, Forenza set. Interesting to see what Oliver does here on Forenza. He'll have to make up his mind quick, smart. He's got to go back to last or go to the front. Because, as I mentioned, this start point on the outer track over 1500, that first turn comes up pretty quickly. Now Cobber Moose to be positioned. Forenza's kicking the stalls. In fact, it's cast Forenza. It is cast Forenza. It's kicked the gate open, but the horse, I think, is stuck somehow. Now, Damien Oliver's clear of the horse, but the horse kicked the gates, and I reckon he got cast, but he's freed himself. They're going to vet Forenza now. You can see here on this terrific close-up shot from the Pro Video camera that they've got the front of the gate open, but I just wonder whether the horse is stuck in any way. Just can't see for the clerk of the course standing in front. Now they're backing him out, Forenza, and he's being vetted even as we speak. So she is in a pretty touchy mood today. Forenza, a winner of the Walter Brown Stakes 2 starts ago, ran Cobber Moose down and then ran 4th in the Oakland's Plate. Forenza is a late scratching. 111 Central. Forenza out. Stewards acting on vet's advice have taken the filly out of the race. Set to go. They're racing and beginning very nicely. Shalini, Cobber Moose quickly into strides looking for the lead. Lashed is sluggish in the early part. It won't stretch out at all. Lashed, it's losing ground at a rapid rate. It's now 10 behind the second last horse. Well, we've had a few sensations already in this race as they race up to the 1200 metre mark, and in a mad charge for the lead, Lawson Storm's gone up with Turfing Shalini. Also in this leading group of horses as they go by the 1100 metre was Cobber Moose. Classical Rock trapped out wide. Hydrometer's very deep on the course. Saints Union's about 1 off the fence just behind the speed in a good position. Well back Neptune Island Family Edition, and Lashed is grabbing the bit now. 5 lengths away second last. At the 800 and More Than Fair was in that group, has gone around the outside to join Lawson Storm from Turfing. Hydrometer 4 wide working around Cobber Moose. Saints Union on the rails was Shalini from Neptune Island. Then Classical Rock. Lashed is taken to the outside and Family Edition is back with it. At the top of the long home straight, 500 metres to go. More Than Fair, Cobber Moose down the outside, coming at them strongly Hydrometer, and right behind them Saints Union looking to get through. Hydrometer strode up on the outside of Cobber Moose despite covering ground to hit the lead. Family Edition and Lashed on the outside is starting to make ground. Cobber Moose and Hydrometer with Lashed, who refused to race in the early part. He's hit the lead, Lashed. Lashed has raced up and joined Cobber Moose, who fights on. It's Lashed and Cobber Moose from Hydrometer. Lashed, well, what a win this. What a performance.